What's up, guys? Jay and Derek here with Tap and Turn Gaming.
Leaving the Battlegrounds.
Leaving the Battlegrounds, so I guess this episode will be a driving from battle episode.
Retreat from battle.
But figured we'd shoot another little vlog video for you guys. In this one we're going to talk about the upcoming From the Vault set, From the Vault lore, and kind of the upcoming changes to some of the MTG products when Kaladesh comes out. So starting off with From the Vault lore, I saw the spoiler, like the full spoiler for the whole thing about a week or so ago. And overall, I feel like it's a pretty underwhelming product. Well, this particular one, I really did enjoy the last one, From the Vault Angels, because I mean, I like angels, so having that stuff in my collection is pretty cool. Plus, you know, the foil Avison, you know, alone paid for it. So, and I was lucky enough to get one from the Battleground when it came out for MSRP, so thanks to the guys at the BG for that. But this particular one, I mean, while there's some good stuff in it, mainly like Umezawa's Jite, I'll say it correctly so we don't trigger any OCD.
Umezawa's Jit. I don't care. I don't even care. Yeah, that and Dark Depths are probably like the two, you know, heavy hitters in the set as far as like sheer value. There are some other cool stuff, or other cool cards I should say, in the set. Like we get a new art, Momir Vig, which I know you probably want to pick up a copy of. Yep.
And the art on that is pretty phenomenal, actually.
It's really cool art.
I mean, not that the OG art is bad, but you know,
he's looking into his puddle.
Yeah, he's kind of like, he's like, hey, you like my slime puddle?
My glowing blue puddle.
But this one was really well done. Again, not saying that the OG art wasn't well done, but this art just, it tickles my fancy a lot more than the OG art does. But overall, I mean, some of the other cards, like, I know there's, you know, a couple of other decent things, like Teleria West in there. I want to say that there was like a removal spell.
Unmask is one of the cards in there.
Yeah, Unmask. I mean, it's not, you know, like a terrible product.
The 15 cards that are in there are 15 pretty cool cards. I think my gripe with it is it doesn't feel very loreful.
Yeah.
Like From the Vault Angels was very angel-filled, obviously.
Yeah.
And From the Vault Annihilation was very much an annihilation set of all kinds of different manner of sweepers. This one, like, I don't know, it's just, to me, having like one card from Ravnica and one card from Kamigawa and the one card from what Merit Lynch was Cold Snap.
Yep.
Like one card from all these like assorted sets, that doesn't just feel very lore filled to me. Like I would rather have seen them, and I know I talked to you about it, I would rather have seen them like pick a couple different story arcs, like maybe, like since there's 15 cards in the From the Vault sets, they could have done like 3 different story arcs and 5 different story arcs and put 3 of the cards that are like monumental from that story arc in there. Like, if you look at the lore of the entire Kamigawa block, I don't think the Jite was like a heavy hitter in the lore of the set.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I mean, that one kind of feels like more of just like a card.
Cash grab.
Yeah, a card that they wanted to include to like put some value into it. But yeah, I would have to agree. Like that would make the overall feel, like if that's what they're going with is like a theme for, you know, each set, you know, I would have to agree that, you know, it would probably make it feel more like they're trying to accomplish lore by having more than one card from like one set.
Like, here's Momir Vig, we just covered the entire lore of Ravnica with one card. I mean, okay. I would say he's probably not even one of the most standout legends rather. Sorry, my EDH blood came out. One of the most standout legends from all of the 2 Ravnica sets. Or 2 Ravnica blocks, which is 5 sets altogether, right? Or was it 6?
It was 6. Yeah.
They predate the 2 set blocks. So like you're talking one legend that encompasses the entire lore of all of those. I mean, if you were gonna pick one to be the lore for Ravnica, I would have said it would be Niv Mizzet the second, because he engineered the Dragon's Maze.
Yeah.
Like that alone makes sense.
I mean, I guess. I don't read too much up on the lore, but I guess like Momir and like his experiment Kraj thing, you know, was like a super secret, like top secret fucking experiment or whatever. And I guess it like kind of like reshaped the fucking history on the plane. I mean, I could be completely wrong. I just remember reading something about that like several years ago.
Oh no, and that's all fine and good if that's the actual lore of it, but then I would like to have seen like Momir and Kraj in there. You know, to tie in a lore rather than just being like, here's Momir. Okay. Right.
While we do like Momir and the phenomenal new art.
I mean, I have a Momir deck, so I do like him. Don't hate.
Yeah, you know, overall it just kind of feels like, you know, and I think a lot of people like expect that those things just be like chock full of value, like from you know, from past ones. Like, wasn't there like From the Vault 20 or 30 or whatever it was called?
From the Vault 20, yeah.
And it had like Mind Sculptor in it.
Yeah, it just had like straight like, I think that one was supposed to be just some of the most influential cards for the past 20 years of Magic. Yeah. Which is fine, like that's, you know, that makes sense. Those are gonna be expensive cards anyways. I would just like to have seen the lore set just feel more like flavorful to lore rather than playing like, here's 15 cards for 15 different sets that you know, they're things. These are things.
Yep.
And they did things and they have things. But, you know, they don't tell a story in any shape or form. It's just a single card from the set.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, plus there's like some duds in that as well, like near-death experience. While that may, you know, tie into the lore from Rise of the Eldrazi, the actual card itself is pretty garbage.
Like if they wanted to do Kamigawa rather than doing the Jite, they could have done Kiku and Marinara and Toshiro Umezawa, because those 3 had like a tied-in story arc together where they were like, you know, doing all these things, and there was some like curse on them that if they didn't do what they were supposed to do, they would die. So the 3 of them had a story together. That could have been 3 cards.
Or right there. Or you could have done like Lord Konda and like maybe General Takeno.
Yeah.
And like Final Judgment, because like Final Judgment kind of references like the big bad Mac Daddy, like Oni, or not Oni, Kami, that just kind of came and just like ended all the things.
But instead they just have the equipment, which doesn't really tell any sort of story. So there's no lore to it.
While that is a welcome include in the product.
Oh yeah, I want one, yeah.
Oh yeah.
don't get me wrong.
Like thematically, it just kind of doesn't really hit all the right notes for us. But
seeing as how we are EDH players and we build decks based upon themes and like tribes and sometimes so much as even like lore. Like I have some decks that when people look at them, they're like, "What are you trying to do?" And to me, they have a story. Like the deck has a story. So for them to come up with a product that's called lore and to have really none other than these cards exist is a little disappointing. Not to say that I won't pick up one of them.
Yeah. But, you know, that's kind of our overall take on the new From the Vault product.
Yeah, Magic, why you know lore?
Exactly. So, next thing we wanted to talk about was the upcoming changes to some of the product when Kaladesh comes out, which is what, like
a month and a half, maybe.
Yeah, like sometime like September, October.
I think so.
I'll have to look up at the release date, but so Wizards is changing some of the products when this set comes out, and as far as I know, it's going to be a permanent change, from there on out. So intro decks are no longer a thing. Now they're going to be what's called Planeswalker decks, which in theory sounds really cool. So essentially, it's kind of almost the same thing, but you get, instead of like a premium foil, like junk card, like what they've been doing lately, now you get a premium Planeswalker card. So, that's pretty cool. And depending on, what Planeswalker it is, I would imagine that it would probably tie into whatever set that the Planeswalker deck is kind of attributed to. So obviously, like, for instance, in Kaladesh, if we see, like, I don't know, a Chandra Planeswalker, there'll be a Chandra Planeswalker deck to go along with it when all the product comes out, which I feel like is kind of a step in the right direction. I'm not sure if they're still going to include the booster packs. Do you know if they're still going to have booster packs in them?
I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a lot of like things. One of the reasons we want to talk about it is we want to know if you guys knew, our viewers, what they're going to include with it. Like, are they going to get rid of the boosters that are in there? Are they going to keep them? Is the Planeswalker going to be a premium foil? Is it going to be one of the Planeswalkers that are actually in that block? Like, or is it just going to be some like random like promo card that isn't like any sort of tournament legal at all?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just, with all the things I just said, I'm kind of just like speculating on exactly, how that's going to work. I don't know if, I mean, I would imagine that the Planeswalker that comes in the Planeswalker deck will be kind of tied into the set that it's attributed to, but
oh, yeah, for sure.
They could do something different.
But I wonder if it will be like
a foil one.
Well, no, like the actual Planeswalker, because every set has Planeswalkers. I wonder if the deck that has the Planeswalker in it is the same exact Planeswalker that's in the block, or if it's some like fantasy promo card that isn't in the block, therefore not like modern and standard legal.
Yeah, that's a good point. So there's that, the Planeswalker decks. Whether or not they actually make the decks a little more like playable and not just kind of like chock them full of more garbage. I mean, not to kind of really knock on the intro decks. I mean, they are a good product for like new and returning players to the game. If maybe you're trying to get like a buddy of yours to learn how to play the game, some of the intro packs or intro decks are really good starting points. But those, like, they run what, like $15 to $20 generally for those things.
I mean, $14.99,
yeah. I mean, you can go to apparently there's these things called welcome decks that you can go to like your LGS, and if they actually have those, like if you're a new player, you can just be like, oh, I'm a new player learning how to play Magic. Can I get a welcome deck? And supposedly, like, that's just something that they give you for free.
Yeah, side note, if you go to your LGS and you ask for a welcome deck and they try to charge you, they're being dishonest. Because I've read things that there's some local, LGSs that are doing that. They're charging like $5 for the decks. And that's, really a step in the wrong direction. Because it's supposed to be a free product for newer players, not just something you can, swindle like a young kid out of $5 for it.
Make a couple extra dollars.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
Shame on you, LGS.
But, I mean, not to, like I said, not to knock the intro decks. They're decent products for, like I said, new and returning players, but like for, like, seasoned, like, grizzled veterans like us.
Yeah, we're pretty grizzled.
I mean, most of the time it's probably not going to be something that you're going to buy unless, unless it's like pre-release day and you just can't wait to get your hands on some extra booster packs because the intro decks come with booster packs. Or, you know, maybe there's like that chase, like rare that's included with it that you want to pick up a copy or two of. But other than that, you know, for like experienced players, they're not really a product that most of them are drawn to. And then the other thing is what fat packs are going away, and they're going to be called.
I can't remember.
Yeah, the name eludes me at the moment. But it's essentially going to be almost the same product. They're just calling it something different. And I want to say that it's going to include like one additional pack, maybe, and then they're going to like take out like the little deck boxes or whatever that they usually come with or whatnot. We haven't really read too much up on it, but you know, for any of you that are watching the video that know exactly how the fat pack's changing and what it's called, you know, let us know. You know, we could just like look it up online, but you know, we like to interact with you guys and read your comments and stuff. So you know, educate us on the changes, seeing as we're kind of in the dark a little bit about how exactly the fat pack's changing.
Yeah, because we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, overall, Kaladesh, you know, seems like it could be a pretty cool set. It seems like very in the same kind of flavor as like Mirrodin, like a very like mechanical, like artifact-y kind of plane.
Yeah, I think I've heard like steampunked and Industrial Revolution referenced a lot. That they're, you know.
Hey, maybe we'll see that Steam Flogger boss reprint.
Maybe.
You know, so all those people that, you know,
I can go something with my contraptions.
all those people that invested in Steam Flogger bosses can be like, haha, I was right. But speaking of cards that should have been reprinted, I know this is kind of off topic of what we were originally talking about, but like Future Sight, right? With all those future shifted cards, those cards, you know, were supposed to be, some of them were reprinted. I can attest to that.
But all 5 of the legends haven't been, right?
5 of the legends have not been reprinted. So like Korlash, Vanessa, Oris, Baru, and what was it, Rorix Bladewing or something like that?
Yeah.
I think. We've yet to see, or was it Tarox? It was some dragon that.
It's either Tarox or Rorix. I think they're related.
Um,
what is this madness?
So yeah, we're dealing with a little crazy traffic at the moment. But yeah,
parked in the middle of the street.
Yeah, good game, man. Way to just park your car right in the middle of the lane. Anyway, so Korlash, you know, I love me some Korlash.
You do? Yeah, I've heard this once or twice.
Like I think both of us had at the time, like
when that was standard legal.
Yeah, when it was called Type 2.
Yeah. Oh, that's back, yeah. Modern was extended.
Yeah. Both of us had like standard legal Korlash decks with, I think yours was mono black, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ran like a lot of shadow creatures and like
some life gain, yeah.
It was pretty hard to beat, and I had like a blue-black control deck that, you know, ran like Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth to make all my islands swamps as well to make Korlash friggin' huge. And you know, they were pretty legit decks at the time, and they were home brews. They were home brews. They weren't like something that we just went online and net decked. They were actually like decks that we kind of like sat down and created ourselves.
Yeah,
and,
it was fun to have Korlash out with a Luxodon Warhammer and just bash phase continuously.
Oh yeah,
gaining like 8-9 life at a time.
Absolutely.
Because he had regenerate, so I would just bash every turn.
And speaking of that regenerate, I took my blue-black Korlash deck to an F&M one time to the Battleground, and I was playing against this guy that was playing like Esper, but at the time, you know, it wasn't Esper because it was so long ago.
Blue, white, black.
So guy plays an Angel of Despair, and he targets my Korlash, and I'm like, okay, I'll pay 2 and regenerate him. He's like, you can't. I'm like, what are you talking about? I can't. She's like, you can only regenerate from damage. And I'm like, no. I can regenerate from effects.
That's specifically why Wrath of God says they can't be regenerated.
Exactly.
So it gives it away at that moment.
So like that's kind of, you know, one of my like funny little stories where like someone tries to like tell you how the rules work and they're completely wrong.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, you can only regenerate from damage, not from an effect that says destroy. Actually, in the rules text for regenerate, it specifically says that you can regenerate the creature.
Would this card be destroyed?
So, yeah, I guess that'll probably cap off our little episode 3 vlog. I guess we'll call this one retreating from battle, as we're on the way back. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs up the video so that we know that you did, so we know to keep making videos like this for you in the future. Leave us some comments of what you thought, you know, what we discussed. Again, you know, any of you that know like little tidbits of information about how the new products are going to work out, we'd love to hear it, because we're, like we said, we're a little dumb about how it's working.
It's fair to say. It's fair to say.
And if you're not already subscribed to our channel, Tap and Turn Gaming, please crush that subscribe button. We really do appreciate it. But right now we're going to head into the house and film some gameplays for you guys. So thanks a lot, and we'll catch you later.